Okay, so this video is going to be all about new construction versus resale. What should you do as a buyer? What is the best thing for you to do when faced with the opportunity to purchase a home, new construction or resale? So to kind of dialogue and dial into what's best, every person has their own unique circumstances and challenges and or needs. And so we want to look at what your needs are specifically. So what are some general questions that each of you can be asking yourself to be able to determine what's the best way? Okay, so let's think about it. For $700,000, is it important to you? Now I'm saying 700,000 because the two homes I just toured are 700 and 750. It could be any price point, okay? But think of, is the amount of money that I'm spending worth not putting my own design choices and colors and schemes into the home? Some of you might be more relaxed, like, you know what, as long as I like the home and it has the colors I like and the floor plan and the lot is great, I don't care. I'll take either or, whichever is the best deal. And that is a good response to that question. The other side of it is like, well, you know, if I'm gonna spend XYZ dollars, you know, I would like to be able to choose what color flooring, what color carpeting, if it's available. Some builders don't do that, okay? Just disclaimer, some don't allow that. Definitely at the $700,000 price point, they are going to give you some flexibility in color schemes and even allow you to do some bespoke purchases and all that with the home. But, you know, like for example, there are some laundry rooms that don't have a sink, and you have to add that feature in before they even pour the slab. You know, so little things like that, you may want to be thinking, well, if I'm going to spend this much money, do I want that opportunity to choose those things? Now, you may end up paying a little bit more or a little bit less, but it's the choice that makes the difference, right? Okay, so that's step one there. Step two would be, what's your timeline? Do you need to get into something quickly, or you have 6 to 9 months to wait for your new home to be built and ready to be purchased? That's a big deal as well. So if you're wanting new construction, never lived in home, but you have to get into something in the next couple of months, well, then you may want to just go ahead and buy a resale or one from a builder that's about to be finished. Now, from the builders that are about to be finished, for the most part in that timeline, you don't have much choices because pretty much it's already been picked out and put into place. There might be a few options available to you, but that's just kind of gives you an idea there, okay? So number 3, what about the lot location? You know, some people want to be able to choose their own lot. They don't like where one's situated, where that gives you that opportunity. And then number 4 is imagine you bought a home and you got relocated for work. Now you have to move to a different state. And now you have to sell this home, this brand new home that you never got to move into. You have to sell it. But you're competing against 15 different builders who are offering incentives like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 at the design center. They're offering low interest rates if you use their lender, as well as money to help with closing costs. That's kind of hard for you as a seller to compete against, right? So taking that example and expanding on that, what that basically means is that these sellers on resale homes, they may not be able to offer as much incentives as the other. So if you're looking for more incentives, and with those options that we talked about, 1, 2, and 3, then that's probably where you may want to go. Now let's put all that to the side. If it makes sense and the dollars make sense, sometimes you can get really good deals from resale homes. New construction, never been built, never been or I'm sorry, never been lived in. My bad, I'm getting ahead of myself, but never been lived in. Why? Well, the circumstances always depends upon the seller. You know, some of them, they can wait, but if they got a loan and they're paying $500,000 on a mortgage and they need to sell because they're paying that money monthly and they're competing against the builder, you might be able to get a better price per square foot than you could from the builder. And of course, that just becomes part of a conversation that you need to have with your agent, and they can have that conversation with the seller's agent. It's all about trying to figure out what fits best for you. Now, the tricky thing when it comes to these resale homes in these communities, when it's sold by a new construction, it's basically, for the most part, off market, meaning that there isn't a recorded sale price within the MLS that I can pull. There are some that I can get access to and that I can use to try to determine what was paid for a property. But for the most part, we're kind of doing estimations and ranges and all that stuff. And so you want to get a financial astute agent to help you walk through those numbers to figure out what is right. And you want to be able to review all those for yourself to determine, does this make sense or not? Okay, you don't want a thing where someone plops in an address and you just get the report. That's pretty much what a lot of agents do. I'm not one of them. I actually take and pull up the information. I put it into an Excel sheet. I download it to an Excel sheet and I run my own graphing and I run my own analysis based on what the sales in the area for those like-kind homes actually bear. And I put it into a pivot table with slicers. It's really fancy and all the fancy words, but the cool thing is, in 5 minutes, I can show you how to use it, and then you have access to it. I give it to you. I'll give you my advice, my thought, my opinion, but again, that's just my advice, my thought, my opinion. What really matters is what you think, what you need in order to make a good decision. So that's what we'll end up doing when we're looking at any of this. Now, yes, this channel is all about the Highlands, but don't worry, I can help you with any of the areas around here. One of the things that is very important when selecting an agent is selecting an agent that knows the market, right? Market competency is very, very important. Along with that competency is the ability to negotiate and ability to be responsive and on top of things. Not someone that works part-time at some other location, but someone that's full-time, readily available to be able to address whatever concerns that might come up in a file. Excuse me. I say all of that to say this. I lived in Houston for over 30 years. Well, no, not quite 30 years. Over 20 years, but maybe around 25 total, okay? I lived all over the city. I live in Kingwood, Texas, which is very close here to the Highlands. And my wife and I would move here to the Highlands in a heartbeat if we weren't already set with our kids and their education with the grade schools and everything else like that. They have really good friends and all that. We don't want to rip them up, but we're going to be moving here once we retire. Yay. Maybe another 10, 15 years. But anyways, this is where we're thinking about right now anyways. But I say all that to say that you want to get someone that knows about the market awareness. That's very, very important. The cool thing about how I pull my comps through the MLS into Excel is it allows me to gain market competence very quickly. I'll look at it like an appraiser does. I mean, an appraiser does not just focus on one part of the town or another. They get called out and they'll go anywhere within the Houston area and they use market comps to be able to come to that decision. What you need is an agent that can read that information, make sense of it, and be able to give you good guidance based on that. You see what I'm saying? And so that's the main difference. So whether you're looking at Town Lake, whether you're looking at the Highlands, if you're looking at any community within the Houston and the MLS area for the Houston area, I can pull down that information and that data and we can figure that stuff out. So I guess that's my spiel. If you would like to get a hold of me, just feel free to reach out. I was able to actually help my clients purchase a brand new construction. They're building from the ground up in Town Lake with Beazer Homes, the Duet series. It's a fantastic home. We worked in a very good deal that's not necessarily advertised. It was within reason for both the builder and for my clients, but it was something a little bit extra, and it's what I was able to bring to the table. I can't promise or guarantee that I can do that in every situation, okay? That's just too much to be asking for, because it's based on circumstance and the individual people involved in that transaction. But what I can tell you is this, is that I have great working relationships. And it's through those relationships that allows for me to potentially get a little bit more for my clients than, say, if you were on your own. Don't hesitate. My number is 832-452-0709, 832-452-0709. I'm available. If I don't pick up, it's because I might be on the other phone at a closing, or spend a little bit of quality time with my family. But you'll get a text or you'll get a call back from me relatively quick. If you don't mind, please do leave a voicemail or text me after you call and say that you watched my video on YouTube and you'd like some guidance. The reason why I'm asking you to do that little extra step is sometimes I get these, I mean, I'm sure we all get them, but they're those crappy calls from, they want you to buy health insurance, or do you have insurance on your car? The warranties are going out. And so I get a lot of those calls, and as an agent, I feel like I have to answer every single phone call. And I hate it because I'm like, oh man, I need to call this person back, but is it a real number, or is it one of those scam numbers that they're just wanting to talk to me about putting solar panels on my roof, for crying out loud? So I'll still call you back, but if you don't mind, if you just want to be nice to me, like, hey, Len, I saw your channel or what have you. Please text me back or call me back when you have an opportunity. That, I would really appreciate that. All right, guys, I hope that you appreciate this video. Keep your eye out for the other two videos for the tours of the homes. I guess I'll be putting some more up there. Anyways, God bless. Have a fantastic day. I hope you all had a good Thanksgiving. I know I did, maybe a little bit ate too much, but other than that, God bless you, you and your families, and I look forward to providing you more content and potentially hearing from you. Bye.